fact number one that nobody ever shares with you is the constant unsolicited dating advice that you get from your family and friends. Here's the thing about that. Yes, your friends and family mean well when they are giving you this dating advice. They absolutely mean well. However, a lot of them are not qualified to give sound advice because a lot of times when we're giving advice, we're really giving it from our own experiences. And most of the time, our experiences have been painful. And so if I am sharing my painful experience with you, and literally like boxing it, putting it and showcasing it to you as if it is law, then you're going to take what I say and go along with the program. Meaning you're going to say, well, it's probably not going to work out because she just shared her life story with me. It didn't work out for her. So if I go and try to do this thing, it's probably not going to work out for me either. So the unsolicited advice that you get from your family and friends can be a very frustrating part of being single. The second frustrating fact about being single that nobody ever talks about is literally feeling like you are the odd one out, especially in a world that emphasizes romantic relationships. Now, yes, when you're single, most single people do want to be in a relationship. But because the world emphasizes how beautiful it is to be in a romantic relationship, when you're not in one, you can feel like you are not important, that you are not worthy, that you are not enough. And so all of these things could come on you because you're not in a relationship. And it's really a pity that the world is doing that to us, to you, because you are worthy. You are enough just the way that you are. Now, yes, none of us are meant to be alone. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you know that I am a Christian. I am a believer in Jesus Christ. And so because of that, God did not create us to be alone. But if you're not ready to be in union with somebody, if you have not found your person, or I should say, if your person has not found you, then you need to hold off. And so we really need to be okay with who we are, where we're at in this moment. In this case, you're watching this because you're single. So be okay with you being a single woman. Be okay with you being in your singlehood right now. Be okay exploring the world with just yourself, because things will change, your priorities will change, and you will have to compromise when you get into a relationship, especially if you want the relationship to last. But right now, enjoy your singlehood. It can be very frustrating when the world is emphasizing romantic relationships, and I don't want you to think that you are not worthy because you're not in a romantic relationship. Enjoy the stage of life that you are in, because 9 times out of 10, you're going to miss it once you get into your romantic relationship. And there are some caveats to that, but we're not going to go down that road today. We're going to jump into the third frustrating fact about being single that nobody ever talks about, which is the lack of emotional support when you are having one of your self-pity moments because you're not in a relationship. Again, the world really, really has a support system for people that break up, for people that are divorced. But when you're feeling lonely, when you're feeling alone because you are single, or because it's the weekend, right? Because it's the weekend and you don't have anything to do or anybody to hang out with. And this maybe it doesn't happen all the time. Maybe it's just every once in a while where you're having a solo weekend or a solo evening. And then all of a sudden you're like, dang, I feel a little bit lonely. I'm not like in a relationship with anybody. Like I literally could be doing a lot of things if I was in a relationship with somebody. And I have to say that don't romanticize that part, because a lot of people that are in relationships, even with them being in a relationship, it doesn't mean that they are happy in that relationship and or doing something in the moment that you are thinking that they are actually doing something. So again, embrace your singlehood. Embrace your singlehood. But we know that there is a lack of emotional support. So here's the thing. If there's a lack of emotional support and you need one, be that to somebody else. So that now you are starting a micro niche of support for the people that need it, just like you need it. So be who you need in that moment. Start to be that, because it's going to help you out in the long run. And guess what? Then you'll be helping other people that are in the same situation as you are currently. And when we start to focus on other people, we actually feel better about ourselves. We feel better about who we are. We feel better about where we're at in life. So when you're starting to feel down because you're single, because there's a lack of emotional support, Be that emotional support for somebody else that you know is single and going through their moments of self pity because, dang, I'm lonely, don't like it, actually hate it. That's okay. Embrace all of your feelings, embrace them all. So if you're sick and tired of feeling frustrated with being single, it may be because you haven't taken a deeper dive. That's why I created my book, You Can Get Over Your Ex. This is on Amazon for sale right now, where you can take a deeper dive into why your relationship, past relationship, or relationships didn't work out. It may be something that you don't know, something that you are not dealing with, if you will. So pick up a copy of my You Can Get Over Your Ex journal. It is on Amazon. It is an affiliate link down below, but you will have a better understanding of who you are and why those previous relationships didn't work out. Now let's jump back in. The fourth frustrating fact about being single that nobody ever tells you about is, again, the occasional loneliness when the weekends come around. And these are the tough times for you, right? And so it's okay to have these frustrating and tough moments. It's totally okay. Embrace them, deal with them. Don't allow these things to be suppressed, because when we start to suppress these things, that's when they come back up and erupt like a volcano. We are not looking to erupt like a volcano. We want them to be okay. Understanding that sometimes you are going to feel lonely. There is a way to really look at that so you're not avoiding it. Like, take a deeper dive into that, not beating yourself up, giving yourself some grace and mercy to understand where you're at this stage in your life, and understanding that it is okay to be at this particular stage in your life right now. It's okay. The fifth frustrating fact about being single that nobody ever tells you about is the difficulty of witnessing seamlessly effortless relationships all around you, especially when you are not in one. Here's the thing that I want to say about this. That can be frustrating, but I want you to not compare where you are with what somebody else seemingly has, because that's the word. Some couples, and is this every couple? Absolutely not. Some couples really do have a seamlessly effortless relationship, but not everybody. Some of those couples that you may be envious of or jealous of don't have it all together. But when they leave their home, they want this picture perfect relationship to exude to the world, and so they show up in that manner. But a lot of times when they go back home and they're behind closed doors, that relationship looks nothing like the one that they present to the world. So be careful about comparing where you're at to where somebody else is at, because you never know what's going on behind closed doors. You never know how connected they truly are just because they're out in public. It just doesn't really matter. In the big scheme of things, it doesn't matter. I did a tiny bit of research, and so I'm bringing this up because it literally just happened, which is how Gabrielle Union filed for a divorce against Dwayne Wade for him cheating on her again. Again, their public image is that they have everything, right? They're both pretty successful in their own rights. They live in a pretty decent neighborhood. I'm pretty sure it's still Florida. But the point is, they seemingly on the outside have everything going on. The kids, the marriage, the happy-go-lucky, big, cheesy, white, bright smiles, the affection out in public. But we never know what's going on behind closed doors. So be careful about the stage that you're in and comparing it to somebody else's where they're at, because we just never know what's actually happening once the doors close and the public is out of view. And I'm bringing up a celebrity couple, but you may know some people that do this all the time just in your own circle of friends. And I knew that she's broken up, but I knew a couple that used to actually do this out in public. They seemed seemingly effortlessly happy. Oh my God, like they were the couple, they were the it couple, right? You know how we say hashtag relationship goals, they were that. And then they broke up because behind closed doors, when the world could not see them anymore, the real personalities and the real people came out. The sixth frustrating fact about being single that nobody ever tells you about is literally handling the criticism for prioritizing personal goals over a relationship. And I think that a lot of single people do this because Literally, you can do with your time what you want without any constraints, without having to check in with anybody. And even a few of my clients that I've actually worked with, now they get gun ho about their careers, and it doesn't seem like they're interested in a relationship. But when they sit down with me as their shift relationship strategist, and we're talking about the relationship that they have with themselves, the relationship that they want to have, this is when Marshawn, get to see the real person and what they're really wanting. So I said all of that to say this. A lot of times when you see a woman in particular, when she's working on her career, is because she hasn't seen a potential suitor that she deems as worthy or that she wants to slow down for. That literally is okay if that's the stage of life that you are in, because every one of us make a choice. Own where you're at. And the more that you own where you're at, others will respect you more because you own where you're at. You're clearly making an informed decision about the thing that you want to do in your life at this time in your life. So own it. Don't allow others to criticize and judge you, because here's the thing, they can't anyway. We do it. We shouldn't be judgmental. Only God can judge us. But a lot of us are judgmental. If they judge God, they're going to absolutely judge you and me. So you're not going to get away from it. Sis, you're not going to get away from it. So just own what you want to own. The seventh frustrating fact about being single that nobody else tells you about is balancing the desire for companionship with the fear of settling for the wrong guy. There is some fear there for settling for the wrong person. Instead of just choosing whomever comes your way, you have to slow down and be more selective. When you are being more selective, you attract better, you show up better, you're more intentional, and the aura that you are exuding out to the world, out to the men that are available, they will pick up on that. And as you continue to uplevel your life, you will attract better mates. You will literally exude a confidence instead of a woman that doesn't have confidence. You will exude, I'm open and ready, instead of a person that has a wall around their heart. Now, a lot of this is subconscious. It's not something that you're consciously doing it. But when we're not just jumping for the very first person that's showing us attention after months, after years, we have a better chance of selecting better. And let's be real, when we stop acting desperate, we select better. Yes, you want a companion. Don't fear settling, especially when you're intentional about slowing down. So you can really read the signs, adhere to the red flags, walk away when you must, ask some more questions if you must, give another chance if you must, but not just doing it because, well, I got to give him another chance. I can't just walk away. Like really collecting the data that you need to collect so you can make an informed decision later on. The eighth frustrating fact about being single that nobody ever tells you about is feeling like there is an expectation to always be on the lookout for a relationship. Sometimes you don't want to be on the lookout for a relationship. Sometimes you just want to chill and let the relationship come to you. Now, it's not always going to happen in that manner, right? But you have to know what you're looking for. And then here's the thing, you have to become what you are looking for, because there are a lot of people that ask for things that they're not willing to do nor give. And if you're not willing to do nor give that thing, you shouldn't be asking for it. And here's the thing about the expectation, it's really something that is internal with you. You may believe that other people are saying these things behind your back, and some of them may. But at the end of the day, are you secure enough and confident enough not to even care about what other people think and say about you because you are single? Slowing it down is a beautiful thing. Really paying attention is a beautiful thing. Understanding what your expectations are is a beautiful thing. Society will tell you that there is an expectation that you should always be on the lookout for a relationship, or you're not worthy enough if you're not in a relationship. But you have to know that that is an absolute lie, and not be so desperate to just jump in. It's okay to be single. I said earlier, embrace where you are at, because it's going to make a difference. Understand that the expectation is really deep seated. It's not really anybody else's. And if you're always following along with what society says that we have to do, then you're going to be on the losing end of the stick. You have to step outside of the box of the society. And what is it that you want? Just because the majority is doing it doesn't mean that it is right to do, and especially right to do for you. The ninth frustrating fact about being single that nobody ever tells you about is the pressure to always have a polished online presence that does not highlight singlehood, which makes no sense. If you are single, then embrace you being single. If you want to post pictures, solo pictures, post them. If you're traveling solo, post them. If whatever it is that you want to post about your life, because just because it's happening doesn't mean that you have to post it about your life. But if that's what you really want to do, if you're feeling it in your gut to share it with the world, then share it. You don't always have to be in a picture with other people to make it seem like you are not single, meaning that you're not in a dating or a relationship or a marriage. It's okay to embrace where you're at. Don't go along with what society says has to be the norm or the correct way to show up, because that's when you lose. That's when you lose. You have to be willing to do what you want to do at the timing that you want to do it. And so, if you want to share your singleness on social media, then do that. Because the more that you honor you, the more that you see the value in where you're at, the more that others will see the value in where you're at. And they'll actually come to you and ask you advice. And how did you do this? And I don't understand, but that's okay. It's not for them to understand. It's for you to understand you, for you to embrace you, for you to love you, for you to know you. So when others come to you, when you do attract that mate and you're having conversations about you, now you can really share who you are in this authentic way and not feel like you have to go along with what society says that you have to do, say, or be. Be you. Just be you. It's the best way. It's the best way to get the respect and to exude the confidence as well as attract the mate that you really want to attract. The 10th frustrating fact about being single that nobody ever tells you about is managing your moments of self pity and frustration about the search for a compatible partner. It can be frustrating to search for a compatible partner at times, and that's okay. But knowing that it can be frustrating is the first thing. Knowing that it can be frustrating is the first thing, because once you're aware that this is going to be frustrating, that you're searching and searching and it seems like you can't find the one, you have to reverse engineer that and listen to what you just said. You're looking for one. It's billions of people on the planet and you're looking for one. That's going to take some searching. That's going to take some continuously putting yourself out there. When date after date or dates, you have some dates and then he's a fraud. And then you meet another person and you have some more dates and he's a fraud. You got to continue to go out there and kiss your frogs, like my mom said. It's going to take you plenty of frogs before you get to kiss the one that turns into a prince. So put yourself out there, embrace singleness where you're at, and understand that you are enough. You are worthy enough. You are exactly where you're supposed to be on your journey. And again, if you need to continue to work on where you are at, then absolutely pick up a copy of my book to get a better understanding of why you went down the road that you went down, why you attract the guy that you attract, and the part that you played in the downfall of the relationship. You can get over your exes on Amazon, and the link is in the show notes or in the description below. I love you guys, and there's nothing that you can do about it.